Welcome to another amateur model build. That's me, I'm the amateur. This time around I decided I wanted to build a tank. And the only one I had on my shelf, I think there might be another one, but I'm not sure, is the M41 Walker Bulldog. I originally picked up this tank to use it for parts, as a friend of mine once informed me of. Back in the day, the special effects artists called them nurnies. Nurnies were just a name they gave to the small little pieces of parts that came off of other models that they used to build special effects models, spaceships and such. Way before CGI, kids. It gives me an idea how old I am. One of the great examples to me, of nurny spaceships was on the, I think you call it iMagic or Image, I don't know. It was a video game title back in the day for the 2600 cartridge. They would build these absolutely crazy looking spaceships for their advertisements of the game. And if you were a model builder of any sort back then, and you had built several models of any kind, just about, you could look at these photos and you could see the different models that they tore apart to create their creations. It was a very fun time back in the day. Now most of it's CGI, so that a little bit of that art is kind of lost. I'm sure the guys at the Industrial Light and Magic thing still, well, I don't know if they still do it or not. I'm sure they probably do, just not as much as they used to. Yeah, if you're seeing this right there, instead of painting the matte black on the road tire of the tank, I used a Sharpie. One, because it was a little bit faster and I could do it a little more controlled. Another thing about this tank is this is the first tank model I have actually built since I was probably like 10 or 11 years old. Just haven't really built one. And back when I bought my tank model from, I think it was a local Kmart down in Florida, these bad boys came motorized. Yes, indeed. Had a nice electric motor in it. You had a place to put the batteries in it, a switch and everything on it. Once you built it and had it all decked out, put the batteries in it, flip it over, turn it on, and wow, you had a motorized model tank. It was pretty awesome. I think I bought like 2 and put together and motorized. Let's just say it's a model, not a toy, so the efficiency of it wasn't as good as you would like for it to be. Surprisingly, this model comes with a build set so that you have freewheeling capability with the treads and even the guide pins on it and everything, guide wheels for the track. Don't ask me why, I don't know. I guess you can get a motorized third-party kit for this to motorize your tank. But since I did not even put a lot of detail into this one, I'm just still not feeling the urge to do massive amounts of detail. I just wanted to build a tank. It's been a long time since I've done it, so I thought, why not? I've got a brother-in-law. He loves these things. Yes, he does. He builds up full diorama displays for these tanks, which you can spend a little bit of time doing those things. But I just wanted to do a tank. As you can see, there surprisingly not many parts. And here's the other thing, they could do a little bit better with their instructions, in my own personal opinion, because following these instructions is, well, it's kind of a little annoying, because it doesn't actually give you a step to putting it together. It's just basically they slap all the parts on one page for each step, and there's not really an order that I could tell to actually put the parts on. I thought, well, they could be a little better in that department. Also, some of the instructions are sort of vague. Putting this one together, I only lost 2 parts. Cutting them off the tree, one of them went flying somewhere, didn't even know it came off. I didn't even actually intend to cut it off. I just cut one other part, and the other part just popped off and disappeared. The one thing that is not visible in my tank will be the headlight guards around the front headlights, because, well, I cut one off and it disappeared. I cut the other one off to see if the same effect would happen, and yes, it did, but I managed to find that one because I saw where it went. So I just left them both off for just my OCD and continuity purposes. Not that it's a super big deal. The tank goes together very well. The detail alone on it is very nice. They do a great job of that. So, can't complain. Doing the finishing up of the, what is that? I think it's that's the upper plate. Yes, the upper plate, getting the muffler assemblies in place, and then all the tiny little parts that go on the outside. And there were a few of those. I could have probably done this in one day. Actually, I think I did do it in one day. The only last part on it is whenever I put the decals on, I waited till the next day to do those. So, other than that, it went together in one day. Oh, there's my little candle. I've supposed to use a screwdriver, but I just used my crappy X-Acto knife, just heated it up and melted the threads together. Did not take long to do. Fit the threads on, everything went together, pop the top on. The funny thing was, after I finished the build, I found 2 small parts that I forgot to put on because, well, like I say, instructions were sort of on the vague side. Even the written part of the instructions were not exactly enlightening on a lot of the whole sections and stuff. The crazy thing about this is that this can be done using decals for Japan. I did not know Japanese use this tank, but I guess they could. After the war, they probably maybe bought some from the U.S. I have no idea. But here we go, finishing up with the decals. I made mine all American, obviously. And once I finished the decals, I took some pictures of it, and, well, there it is. A whole build for my tank. I think it took almost as long to do some of the decals. Those decals did not want to let go. Water slide decals. And I have to say, this tank model is actually probably somewhere in the neighborhood of, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old. Up, here we go with my pictures. I tried to shoot from a couple of different angles on it different exposures. I don't know. But there you go. So, hey, thanks for watching the video. Hope you found it a little bit entertaining. And if you did, hey, more power to you. And I will pick out my next model soon.